then they finally got another man up from there. One second. So then finally got another man up. I finally got another second man up. So suddenly the staircase cracked and it erupted itself down. It crashed onto the last man who was getting up there and killed him, going straight through him and slamming into the bomb into the water below, pushing the guy and basically walling the staircase. And this part of the wall was breaking off. So people appear. The we created them ourselves. Second, six people over here and started rushing to get out of there. As they got up, this part of the wood then broke off, and then the woman who was on there getting up then slipped down, hit it, and it broke off, collapsing entirely down, and she fell and slammed down. She was alive, though hit with the bruise. And then it then another this stairwell thing broke off. It went straight through this stairwell thing and in down into here, slamming straight through the woman and blocking off most of their escape, though bending it around. There are three people up here and two people down here. One person was hanging off of this and then scaled their way up. This was the person with the Wikipedia. And also another man. You didn't really know the last guy just jumping off as this thing broke off. He jumped up there. And this area was just a frame area that was just destroyed. Comes from Rome in the 2nd century AD. Fun fact: life did not give us lemons. We created them ourselves. Sir, great pride that I inform you, I have finally figured out a name possible discovered last past. Would you like to hear the name prior to communication? I'll read it when it'll take but 2 seconds. I haven't. I'm right now, Richard. Treaty and foreign America. So I have your public? Yes. Public. Yay. Scrotum humanum it is. Yes, in keeping with the Linnaean system of binomial nomenclature. Human scrotum human, but it's not a scrotum. Oh, not even a human bone, right? Now, while I don't want to rule out giants completely, no, it's not for me. Yet, human scrotum is the best you can come up with for a name? It is quite embarrassing. I shall think so. How a name that obvious eluded everyone for nearly a century. It was only after one of my bi-monthly baths that I noticed a striking similarity between the fossil and my very own scrotum. It's like a candle went off in my head. A eureka moment, right in the bathtub, just apart from meetings. Perhaps I'm misremembering what it looks like. Show me. Okay. The fossil, not your scrotum. Oh, apologies, sir. You just call it Robert Plot's illustration and show you. And, here it is. My God, it does resemble a human scrotum. I thought it can. But is there no better name? Perhaps baby feet? Or two plums in a bag? Or saggy breasts. Sometimes one must take the low-hanging. Sir? No pun intended. Sir, the committee is here to negotiate the treaty. 1 minute. Sir, they really would like to end the war as soon as possible. It's been going on for 7 years. It can wait 1 more minute. I'm trying to rename a giant ball sack right now. Sir, it is with great pride that I inform you, I have finally picked one back. These two houses in Florida share a backyard. But if you wanted to drive from one to the other, it would take about 20 minutes. These homes are located in a suburb of Orlando and are a perfect example of urban sprawl, where no consideration has been made for non-car transportation. The streets all funnel cars onto large arterial roads, which essentially means people are required to drive, since walking or riding a bike take too long and be pretty dangerous. Which means if you don't drive a car, you are trapped in your home. The Congress for New Urbanism has been working for a number of years to tell America to cities, promoting walkability, mixed-use neighborhoods, and more sustainable communities. As the people up here got blown out, happier, healthier, and more socially connected lives. Fun fact: these two houses in Florida share a backyard, but if you wanted to drive from one to the other, it would take about up here. Barely were able to get up to here. The floor started cracking. It then fell down and slammed down there. Everyone had to jump out of the way as it crashed down before they went onto the main area. They bent around.
Emoji is insanely The clock on Taylor Swift's necklace at tonight's Grammys is functional and has changed time. Flicking a lighter in front of these people and telling them I harnessed the power of fire. This is terrifying, I'm sorry. Damn, they embalmed Jeremy Fragrance. Keanu Reeves on the set of his new movie called The Last Bubba Claw. John Wicks is crazy. Young Thug defends James Harden for wearing a pro-police face mask. I don't have internet. It's still funny. Looking up for the computer.
Entirely free work of the Sony area. Like they basically rebar there.
Katy Perry shot by
It's like swing
Troy Lanez has been sentenced to 10 years in prison for shooting Megan Thee Stallion. Crying my ass, the AI read Stallion and drew a horse. This man always looks like he's being attacked by powerful psychic brain-melting death rays. Real ones are constantly visited by the horrors of the past and the specter of what is coming. I just know her Bitmoji is insanely empty. The clock on Taylor Swift's necklace at tonight's Grammys is functional and has changed time. Flicking a lighter in front of these people and telling them I harnessed the power of fire. This is terrible.
The rest of the people who are alive.
Man was horrified to discover that he had already spent a harrowing 108 days on Mars. Desperate to send word of his survival back to Earth, he exhausted every...
War Thunder fans are leaking so many military secrets that a guy is keeping a tracker of the days between. You know War Thunder, that war sim game where you get to fly around planes and drive tanks? That one guy in your history class favorite game? You know. Well, it also has the most infamous forums where people leak a ton of classified documents about the planes and tanks in the game. Despite the devs banning leakers and literally begging people to stop, the leaks just keep coming. Because, you know, the best way to win an argument online is to leak some very sensitive military information. Things are so bad that a Twitter account called No Leaks Please is actively tracking the days between these leaks now. And according to him, it's been, as of filming, 43 days without a leak. The last leak was for the F-14D flight manual. It was only 83 days after an unknown leak, which came 8 days after the Eurofighter's radar specs were leaked. But if you ever need a manual for an M2A2 Bradley, I got you. War Thunder fans are leaking so many military secrets that a guy is
Swung out and then
days.
he let go and slammed down the metal thing, then crashed and slammed onto him after it cracked off
Well, it also
and broken off. So the the tables, yes, the goddamn tables, I guess.
stop leaks just
Oh, the foot of another metal.
best way to win an argument online.
I didn't realize that as after the series breaking up, the metal framing that was inside of it was usable. Also, the person went slamming onto the wood. I perfectly hit the splashing area. Coming onto the wood and then was stabbed, and killed by other debris.
War Thunder fans are leaking so many military secrets that a guy is keeping a tracker of the days. No War Thunder, that person game story based on the children's books of the same name released between 1981 and 1991. These three collections of short horror stories, written by Alvin Schwartz and memorably illustrated by Stephen Gamble. Seeing Gamble's creepy-ass charcoal and ink art is one of my earliest horror-related memories, as I'm sure it is also many other people around my age. In fact, the more I think about it, the more likely it is that scary stories tell in the dark help prime baby James to become the horror-obsessed man James of today. But I'm a Mario.
As the person went, as the random word went out and went, he starts himself on a bit of the glass.
You also need good stuff for
Oh my god, and then jumped into the glass and nearly fell off the edge as a huge explosion. Everything out
as a
there.
gateway horror flick for kids and the more faint-hearted among us, even if it does feel a little sluggish
Most of this
in
world.
all the scenes with monsters. Thankfully, though, the team behind this movie was faithful to the original Gamble drawing that, let's be real, made the books classic. It helps that producer Guillermo del Doctor now, as you can see, is the most patient man alive when talking to his patients on my 600-pound life. However, there are some patients who have tested his limits with their disgusting attitudes, refusal to stop eating, and even even aggression towards the famed Doctor. And these are the 5 times Doctor Now has totally lost his temper towards the 6 per pound stars, starting with the patient who had more than one run-in with Doctor Now on the show, which led to her quitting quicker than any other patient. Sinead Murray Hawkins was not only one of the biggest failures on the show, but one of the most infuriating to watch. Appearing